What is up, YouTube? Alright, just coming down off of Money in the Bank. Well, that wasn't bad. That wasn't a bad show. That was actually pretty awesome. But, so they kind of blew a hole in a couple of my predictions. Alright, it wouldn't be the first time that I wasn't 100% right, but I did predict most of the matches at the show. So let's see here. The show was not that bad at all. The show was actually really good. I mean, the Money in the Bank matches were good. The Rusev and Big E, they actually gave Big E some credit. They actually made it so that it wasn't a complete job. It wasn't like a squash match. Rusev, they made Rusev human. It wasn't a, they humanized him. It wasn't this unstoppable force that he's been lately. He actually got hurt. Big E beat the hell out of the man, and he took it and he won. So that match was pretty good. Summer Rae and Layla. I did not see Layla winning that match because I was straight. They haven't used Layla in forever, and I did not see Layla winning that match. But I guess they have another plan. Maybe they're gonna extend the story because I think Summer Rae is gonna win out, all together in this story. So I think that she's eventually she's gotta beat Layla. Yeah. And Naomi did lose. There was no heel turn. There was no interaction with Cameron, even though Cameron just kind of like sat at ringside as her normal bitchy self. And well, whatever. It was close. I was close. I did predict that Naomi was gonna lose, and Naomi lost. That's all it is. Eventually, there will be a turn. Probably tomorrow, maybe next week, but there will be a turn, and Naomi, Cameron's gonna turn on Naomi and break up the Funkadactyls, and then probably go off into obscurity. Alright, then we have the tag match. Probably the lowest point of the night. Don't get me wrong, it was a good match. It was a really good tag match. Just the Usos won. I don't dislike the Usos. Don't get me wrong, I don't dislike the Usos. That was Wyatt's, man. The Wyatts was supposed to win. And I had a theory that I should have put into my predictions video. And the theory was that if the Wyatts did not win the tag titles, that Bray would not win the world title. That was my theory. And that's usually how it goes. Because lately when a faction wins championships, usually it kind of like covers the whole faction, unless it's like a bunch of people like the Nexus or Core or something like that. Like when the Shield won their titles, they won their titles. The only reason why the Shield, when they lost their titles, all of them didn't lose them was because they were trying to set up the breakup then, but I guess they changed their mind and started to work it for a few more months. But yeah. The pay-per-view was pretty good. The Divas match. Now, I've heard a lot about Paige, and I heard that there are some moments where Paige, she gets kind of blank, and it doesn't look like she knows what she's doing. Tonight, there were no blank spots. Alright, Paige was as technical as any catcher's catch can wrestler that I've ever seen. She was incredibly technical. And Naomi, we already know Naomi can wrestle from NXT. So they had a very good technical divas match. Something that you never ever see from women's wrestling. Unless you're watching like TNA or Ring of Honor or something like that. But yes, I have to say that was awesome. The match had some slow points, but it was, wrestling, it wasn't psychological wrestling, but it was old school type of wrestling, and it was good. Um, let's see. I see the tag man. Oh, the Gold Dust, the Dust to Dust versus Rob Axel. Why was this match even at the pay-per-view? Don't get me wrong, I like Gold Dust, I like Stardust, I kind of like Rob Axel, but this match to me just seemed like it slowed down the momentum. Like, I think one of the low points of the show was the match placement. Like, because it's like you had the tag match, then you had the Divas match, then you had, I think you had the Money in the Bank match, the first one after that. And, that the momentum was pretty high from that match. And then it slowed down a little bit with the Rusev match, even though that match was pretty good. And then it really slowed down with the Dust to Dust Rob Axel match, and it slowed down completely with the Fandango thing. And so by the time the crowd got to the title match, I guess it kind of works, because by the time they got to the title match, they were ready to see something else. But the fact is, the match placement really kind of slowed the pay-per-view down for me. I guess they really couldn't help it because, most of the bigger talent was already involved in something else, so they really couldn't spread the talent out for these matches. But to tell you the truth, it wasn't bad. It just had some slow points. The Money in the Bank match for the contract. That match was pretty good. The whole injury thing with Bray Wyatt getting injured. Well, not Bray Wyatt. With Ambrose getting injured, and then they had to put him out of the match. That was cool. That was kind of like a nod back to to Stone Cold. Stone Cold got injured in the Rumble, and they put him out, and he comes back and wins the Rumble. It was kind of like a little nod. That would have been awesome if they did the same thing with Ambrose. Like he gets injured. Like they should have had Kane injure Ambrose. Instead of Kane just screwing him over, they should have had Kane to be the one to injure him, and then he gets escorted out of the match, and then he comes back. Excuse me, getting choked up here. Ambrose comes back. He fights his way up the ladder with one arm and claims the title as an in-your-face to Seth Rollins. And then, they fight at Battleground over the title, or over the briefcase, which may or may not happen anyway, but, yeah, that match was pretty good. We had some pretty sick spots, like the one jump where Rollins, he falls on the ladder. There was a lot of sick spots. A lot of spots where people are beat up, alright? They're going to go on to Raw tomorrow, beat to hell. But, match was pretty good. Seth Rollins winning, I predicted it. I knew it was coming. I mean, when Wade Barrett was the front runner, he was going to be the one to kind of throw off the story, because there's always somebody that throws off the story. Because right now, all the major heels, with the exception of Bray Wyatt and Wade Barrett, are part of the Authority. Orton's in the Authority, Kane's in the Authority, Batista's in the Authority. He really hasn't quit. He's out doing the movie. They're all part of the Authority, and then all the major faces are part of the anti-Authority. You got Cena, you've got Roman Reigns, you've got Daniel Bryan, and so it seems like everything is broken down into this one story of Authority versus the people the Authority messes with. And Wade Barrett would have been the guy to throw that off. I mean, even though he does kind of work for the Authority from time to time, he's not in the Authority. So giving him the briefcase and then having him cash in on somebody would throw the story off and branch it off into something else. But that didn't happen. He wasn't in the match at all, but he's done. Well, he's not done, but he's just not in the match. All in all, not bad. The main event? Oh, the main event. I have to say this match was pretty good. Sheamus kicked ass in this match. So much ass. Like, Sheamus did freaking awesome in this match. There were moments where I thought Sheamus was gonna win. I was a Sheamus fan. I knew Sheamus wasn't gonna win the match. But there were moments where I thought, man, Sheamus could win the match. You know, there were moments where I thought Bray was gonna win the match. You know, and Bray would be like the guy to throw off the story, and you'll have the authority story over here, and you have whoever's trying to stop Bray over here, and you'll have stories going. But they didn't go that route. But yeah. So we got blood. We got blood. I don't know if it was intentional blood. I doubt it seriously. But we got blood in a WWE match. Thank you, Roman Reigns, for dropping the ladder on Randy Orton's head. Now we got a match with blood in 2014. Put this on the calendar, people. There was blood in the match. Alright, Orton was busted. You saw Orton at the end of the match. He had the water bottle. He was trying to get the blood out of his eyes. It reminded me of days of old, man. It was just, I kind of marked out a little bit. I was like, oh, it's blood. He's bleeding. He's busted open like a stuffed pig. Yeah, I got excited a little bit. But yeah, John Cena won. We kind of saw this coming. The SummerSlam poster leaked. Yeah, so Cena's the champ. We're back to the status quo. But all in all, it's still not bad. I just wanted to see Wyatt become tag champions. But oh well, that will be another opportunity. So yeah, I have to say this was a solid pay-per-view. Probably better than Payback. So yep, solid pay-per-view. And I actually come up with a rating for these. I'll probably do that. But yep, that's about it for this. So I'm gonna go over the winners and losers right here. So you got Summer Rae. Layla goes over Summer Rae. Rusev goes over Big E, and a pretty good showing from both guys. The Usos retain the tag titles. Paige retains the Divas title. Dust to Dust beats Rabaxel. Seth Rollins is Mr. Money in the Bank. And John Cena is, for the 15th motherfucking time, the world champion. But oh well. I can deal with it. It's alright. So, everybody, keep it real. Like, subscribe, keep it real with the real Super Mario. Deuces.